As everybody already knows, this is Queso and his father.
Yeah, now they listen. They said that Queso's dad just got sentenced to something super duper light. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear. That's what I like to hear right there.
Two of them have been wrapped up into an insane case because Queso sought revenge for his brother, who's also his other son. And Queso got revenge by blowing dude's face off with an AR pistol. Yep. And then when they called Queso's dad to come pick them up to get away from the scene because they got chased by the police, crashed, Queso ran. Yep. The other two co-defendants hid in the house and held a lady hostage and changed in her husband's clothes. When they called Queso's dad to come pick them up, Queso went and did it and became an accessory to a first-degree murder case. Mm-hmm. Now, Queso's dad didn't want anything to do with prison, so he did this.
On January 15, 2020, prior to the murder of Charles McCormick, were you aware of this going
I'm just saying, like, why do y'all expect me to go? Why do you expect me to go to jail for motherfucker somebody? I just don't understand.
Finish him.
Why do you expect me to go to jail for somebody else because somebody else killed somebody? I'm not doing that. That's just not. I don't give a fuck who you is. I'm not going to jail for you because you killed the motherfucker. Then call me to come save you. I'm thinking you just in trouble. I come save you, and now I get locked up for accessory or murder, nigga.
Stop it. Get some help.
You getting told on, sir. What is wrong with y'all? Why do y'all think that it's something wrong?
No.
Did you participate in any of the planning of the murder of Charles McCormick?
Nope.
No.
Were you present when Charles McCormick was murdered?
Nope.
No.
Did you know that was going to happen before it happened?
Nope.
Nope.
So if all these answers are true, why do y'all expect this nigga to take? What do you like? What's going on? He supposed to go do life too? Cause you killed the motherfucker? That's weird to even think that, gang.
When did you find out Charles McCormick was going to be murdered? Or, excuse me, when did you find out Charles McCormick had been murdered?
After I picked up Scott and Butter.
So that would be Leroy Whitaker and Dominique Barner?
Yes.
Scotty is Queso's cousin.
Oh, they cousins? I didn't know that.
Big Blue here is keeping it in the family. He's telling on all the fucking family members.
Good job, Big Blue.
You indicated you picked them up. How did you know that they needed a...
And the reason I don't like this shit so bad, bro, is because you are a liar, gang. You're not about to... Here's the scenario. Yo, hold on, y'all. This is my clothing brand. I need y'all to go support your boy, okay? And supporting your boy with some pretty cheap clothing, all right? And you're gonna be fly and fresh as hell, man. All right, link in the description. Theari.us. Go shop. Your cousin, let's say your cousin just killed the motherfucker. He called you to come pick him up. You like, oh shit, what's wrong, bro? Yeah, I got you. I'm hurry up. You run to the car. You thinking your cousin in a jam. You thinking it's something wrong with your cousin. You think your cousin in danger. You pull up quick. What's wrong? What's going on? Man, we just killed the nigga. Now, 2-3 months go by. You get locked up for accessory or murder. They asking you questions. What you gonna do? You gonna sit there and be quiet and go to jail for life? Or is you go, like 99% of y'all is gonna snitch, gang? And if the 1% of y'all that ain't gonna snitch is fucking stupid.
Stop it.
Barely.
Get some help.
Come on, bro.
Right on January 15, 2020.
That's just cap. Y'all not doing
My
that.
son called me and asked me to go get Scotty a ride.
Which son?
Kareem.
Is that Abdul Jr.?
Yes.
Now, sitting here today, you realize that you are testifying against not only co-defendants, but family members.
Yes.
Why are you doing that?
Because I'm not going to jail for somebody else.
I have a number of reasons.
And what are they?
I got some health issues. I got 2 6-year-olds and an 8-year-old daughter. And, when my 8-year-old daughter asked me when I'm going to come take her to the daddy-daughter dance.
Objection, hearsay relevance.
What?
I made this clear in the video that I made covering this entire situation. If you, speaking to Queso's dad, were a respectable man and took on the responsibility of being a father to Queso, you wouldn't have to testify against.
Why do y'all keep saying, I'm not saying he was the best dad in the world, right? But why do y'all keep saying that this man wasn't in his son's life? I don't know about you, but if you don't talk to your dad, you don't see your dad. Your dad never did nothing for you. You feel me? Let's say you don't even know. My dad don't even know who his dad is. He wouldn't. If I showed him a picture right now, he would not know who his dad is. So if my dad get in a jam where he could get possibly arrested, he's not fucking picking up the phone to call his dad. The fact that he picked up his phone and called his dad, and his dad jumped up, I don't know where his dad was at, and his dad jumped up and pulled up to this murder scene to pick his son up in a swifty, in a hoop, in a hurry. That don't sound like a deadbeat dad to me. That sound like a dad that maybe he did influence him to do some bullshit, but that sound like somebody who was there. Just like if you call your friend or your mama or your cousin or your teammate and they pull up quick, that's a real friend. That's a real cousin. You feel me? So why do y'all keep saying that he was just like this deadbeat that was never around? I don't know if it's true, but I'm just saying that don't sound like a nigga who, what deadbeat dad is doing that?
Against him later in life because you want to be a father to these other kids you got. If y'all don't know, Blue was in the streets and apparently told way back in the 90s, but he was the influence to Queso.
Now that's bogus, I agree.
He was the introduction to Queso's life in the streets. And then when shit hits the fan, he wants to testify on his own son to save his own ass so he can go be a good parent. Yeah, I'm not going for it, but it is what it is, right?
I don't know. I mean, it's a tricky situation. He might have introduced him to the streets. He ain't tell him to go kill motherfucker and then get on Instagram and rap about it. The fuck?
When she asks me over each year when I'm gonna come take her there, and I keep letting her down. Then my 6-year-old son, when he asked me if I'm gonna come to his football games, come take him fishing. My other 6-year-old, he asked me, when I'm gonna come see him, when he begging me, please come see me, daddy. He wanna teach me how to play the game, but he don't know where I'm at. Things like that. My health issues.
What health issues do you have?
I have diabetic. I'm diabetic. I'm on high blood pressure. I suffer from congestive heart failure. I just found out June 25th that my kidneys is failing rapidly.
Damn.
I mean, all that sounds good, but your son stood over somebody and knocked their fucking face off with an AI pistol. So it's like, I want to get out of this situation because, I got diabetes and this and that and da-da-da-da-da. But I'm like, come on, bro. Y'all fucking family punishing shit. And then we're supposed to feel bad that your blood sugar is fucked up.
For sure. But I just don't. See, I don't know. Y'all can give me some homework to do. I don't know what all the facts is. But unless that nigga taught this nigga how to kill, unless he encouraged him to kill people, unless he taught him how to do a drill, and if he did, he's a terrible teacher. But you feel me? Unless he did all that, I don't really want to hear, you know what I'm saying, though? I don't know. Is he bogus for introducing his son or having his son around the streets or whatever the case is? For Showski. But if his son got locked up for selling drugs and he was snitching on him, I say he bogus. His son got locked up for a murder. And unless he taught this little boy how to murder, unless he told this little boy that he had to go kill people, that ain't his fault.
Becoming a witness in this case negatively impacted your relationship with your entire family.
Duh.
Well, I really don't have no more relationship with my family, besides one person.
So a part of your family completely cut you out?
Yeah.
I'm gonna cut you off for snitching, but I'm not gonna cut off him for being a fucking murderer. Sounds stupid, right?
When people know that you're cooperating, does that make it easier or harder for you when you're incarcerated?
Well, it make it harder for me.
What about when you get out?
Extremely harder.
Is cooperating in this case something that is easy for you to do?
No, this is the most hardest decision I've had to make in my life.
So he claims this is the hottest decision he's ever had to make in his life. And, you know, he might not be wrong in that. It's either do basically the rest of his life in prison for something his son did.
So why do y'all keep acting like he's a bad... What? Why would I do life in prison for something somebody else did? I don't understand that shit.
His son away for the rest of his son's life so he can have freedom. I'm gonna play the clip of Ksoo being sentenced, and then we're gonna get into what Ksoo's dad was sentenced to, just for comparison, and then I'll double back and give my own personal thoughts on this situation.
First, today, we now know a local rapper and his cousin will spend the rest of their lives in prison. Hakeem Robinson, also known as Queso, along with Leroy Whitaker Jr., were sentenced today in the death of Charles McCormick Jr. Our Haja Baj joined us live outside the Duval County Courthouse this evening. And Haja, tell us more about what happened inside the courtroom.
Yeah, guys, I was in the courtroom today when Robinson and Whitaker found out they'll be spending the rest of their lives behind bars without parole. Now, both men declined to speak as the judge announced their sentences.
His life was taken unjustly, and the ripple effect of the act that has forever changed his family, friends, and community. But it brings some kind of relief knowing that this individual will no longer have the power to take another life.
Is there anything you wish to say? Okay. By unanimous verdict, and at this time this court will then adjudicate you guilty of that offense and sentence you to the only lawful sentence that this court can impose, and that is mandatory life in prison without the eligibility for parole.
Mandatory. That means she couldn't even weigh her options. She had to give them life. That's what the state said.
Jacksonville rapper Hakeem.
Yeah, just so y'all know, in the state of Florida, there is no parole. So when you
at all? Damn,
go to prison with a sentence like that, it's done. You gotta die or appeal it. Yeah. But there's no parole. Same thing as if you get out, because in Florida you have to serve 85% of your sentence. So you can get gain time and be early released technically. But when you get out, you're not on parole either. You're just out. You're free. They give you $50 in a bus pass to wherever the fuck you want to go. And that's it. But there's no getting out of this unless you appeal it and beat it. And keep in mind, Queso is still fighting another murder case. So, yeah, just to think about.
Hakeem Robinson, also known as Queso, and his cousin Leroy Whitaker Jr. were sentenced Wednesday to life in prison without parole for the 2020 killing of 23-year-old Charles McCormick Jr. According to police, McCormick was shot on January 15, 2020 at Dames Point Plaza in Arlington.
You're gonna kill a nigga in broad daylight on camera, walk him down with your clothes on, then get on Instagram, get on rap songs and brag about it and say all the details on how you killed them and what you killed them with. You left your gun in the car when you got on the high-speed chase from the police. Like, man, I'm snitching on your ass. You think I'm going to jail because your dumb ass don't know how to... Man, you crazy as... Y'all is crazy as hell, bro.
An officer witnessed the shooting and said the gunman stood over McCormick and fired a rifle before fleeing in a Nissan Altima. The officer pursued the car until it crashed. 3 people ran from the scene. Robinson and Whitaker were later arrested and charged with first-degree murder.
On top of all that, it ain't like the dad had to snitch, my nigga. He was gonna get locked up regardless. The dad just helped seal the deal a little bit more. Bro, come on, bro.
A jury unanimously found Robinson guilty for first-degree murder on July 31st of this year. Family members of McCormick were in the courtroom, sharing their grief and sending a message to the community.
We pray that this moment causes reflection, not only for those being sentenced, but for anyone listening. One reckless moment, one decision can destroy many lives, including your own. As a community, we must take a stand against music and messages that glorify real violence and the loss of innocent lives.
No, I'm gonna just say this shit just to keep it a buck. Lil Buck got killed for dropping a diss song. right? So a lot of people are mad that Queso, you know, he had an album cover with a bunch of dead people on it. Queso dissed the dead.
Right.
Lil Buck got hit for dissing the dead. So it ain't like he's a fucking angel in this situation. Let's just keep that shit 1,000. That's why he got hit. But in breaking news, father of Jacksonville rapper Queso sentenced to time served
He didn't
for
do nothing.
Roland Charles McCormick's murder. If y'all don't know what time served is, that means he's free. He doesn't have to serve any time. No jail, no prison, nothing. He's done.
That's great. He didn't do anything. He didn't do a damn thing. Why would he go to jail?
The father of Jacksonville rapper Queso was sentenced to time served on Friday for his role in the 2020 murder of Charles Lil Buck McCormick Jr.,
That's great.
marking an end to a case in which 2 others received life sentences. Abdul Robinson Sr. pleaded guilty to helping his nephew Leroy Whitaker and Dominique Butter Barner escape after the murder. As part of the plea deal, prosecutors called for him to testify against his son Queso, real name Hakeem Robinson, during his murder trial. Robinson Sr. was sentenced to 1,898 days in jail. The judge's assistant confirmed with First Coast News that the 54-year-old will be released from police custody Friday. However, the judge sentenced Robinson Sr. to 2 years of community control with electronic monitoring, followed by 3 years of probation with special conditions. So what that means is
He going home.
the 1,000 and something days they sentenced him to, that's how many days he's been in jail.
Right.
They gave him time served. We're going to sentence you to exactly how much time you've already done.
So he was in jail for 1,800 days simply for picking his son up. And his son didn't even tell him that he was picking him up from a murder scene. But y'all want this nigga to abide by some code. Where's the code? What's the code to say don't involve your dad in a fucking murder? What's the code to say don't let your dad sit in jail for how many years is that, bro? 1,800 is 300. Come on, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So it's you probably been in there like 4, 5 years. Because it's 365. So it's probably been like 4 years, something like that. And his ass was just locked in jail. Let's do the math. I think it said like 1868 or some shit. 1868. Divided by 365 days. Yeah, that's five years and some change, bro. He was just locked up for 5 fucking years, and he was supposed to do that shit for the rest of his life because you decided to kill somebody. And you called me to help you. I come help you. And then you tell me after I help you, you tell me that it was a murder. And I'm supposed to not snitch? You fucking, are you like, man, y'all
That way it
crazy,
eliminates
bro.
it. It takes itself out. Community control in the state of Florida is the strictest probation you can be on. It is so easy to fuck up. If you're allowed outside your crib, you have to write down everywhere you go. He's going to be on a GPS monitor. You got to get permission for everything. This is like getting released by the feds. Community control is not an easy thing to do, right? But it is if you're claiming to be the good father that he's claiming he's going to be going to football games and having tea parties and shit and all that. So he's got community control, he's got probation. All of that's gonna equal up to 5 years, right? But he's free as of today. He's coming home.
That's great.
Now, is he gonna be able to live in Jacksonville?
No.
I don't know. I don't be honest with you, I don't see why not.
He older.
Because it's like who in Queso's group is gonna take him out?
Right. He older too.
It seems like all the hitters in ATK are gone, first off, but second off, it's like who's really gonna step on an old man when everyone knows the police are watching him?
Right.
And Queso, I think he's still in the county. He didn't get transferred to prison yet, I don't believe.
Yeah.
And he's gotta face his other murder case. He has a whole nother murder for killing Julio Fulio's friend, who was like, what, 15 at the time, 16 at the time? Maybe younger,
That's
maybe
why I'm
14.
I'm supposed to go to jail for that nigga.
But we'll just have to wait and see how the
Crazy
Bibby
as
case
hell,
plays out. Because if he gets sentenced to another life sentence for that murder,
probably,
you can best believe Queso's dying in prison. But hey, it's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all, y'all rocking with me.
That's what happens. I mean, that's the only thing I be saying. Like you You went outside your way and you went and killed these niggas and stood over them in broad daylight and all this goofy ass shit. Then you bragging about it. You laughing about it on Facebook. You making jokes about it on Instagram. Like, and then you get locked up and now motherfuckers supposed to feel bad for you and not snitch on you and go to jail forever because they don't want to snitch on you when you got me involved in some shit that I didn't even know was going down. I feel like that's far worse of a violation than it is for a dad to snitch on his son. I don't give a fuck what y'all talking about or what y'all say. Anybody that say they wouldn't do that is a bold-faced liar. Don't believe them. It's the streets. That's what you're supposed to do. You a killer, remember? Killers go to jail.